This evening is the last board meeting at which I'll preside as the South Orange's village president. Since my term of office ends in 1 week, and from this unique vantage point, with the benefit of 4 years of hindsight, I'd like to reflect back a bit and attempt to put a capstone on what we set out to accomplish 4 years ago. For those of you who were here and engaged in 2007, you may recall we committed ourselves to address 6 key pillars that define our community. We talked about governing with respect and transparency, fiscal management and property taxes, supporting public safety, downtown revitalization and redevelopment, supporting recreation, cultural affairs, open space, and historic preservation, and supporting excellence in education. So how did we do? Well, I've learned that a governing body's job is never done, especially if it keeps tackling new opportunities and issues. I feel satisfied we've made great strides towards achieving a lot of what we set out to accomplish 4 years ago. We've weathered the worst recession in 80 years since the Great Depression without reductions in municipal services or layoffs, with strong residential neighborhoods across the village, and with a vibrant downtown despite unprecedented levels of retail closures across the country, including the bankruptcy of retail institutions like Circuit City, A&P, Linens and Things, Fortune Offs, and Borders Bookstore. And we've achieved this with only a 3.8% municipal tax increase in 2009 and a 1.9% increase in 2010. And an even lower increase within reach for this year, 2011, a daunting task in the face of extraordinary, uncontrollable increases in employee health care and pension costs, which we have no control over. More specifically, how do we do with respect to the 6 pillars I mentioned a moment ago? We talked about governing with respect and transparency. We committed ourselves to maintain the highest ethical standards in all aspects of governing to restore the public's trust. Shortly after being elected, all department heads and board members completed ethics training for the New Jersey Division of Local Government Services Local Finance Board. We committed ourselves to conduct all public meetings in a respectful, orderly manner based on the rules of order. All board meetings are conducted professionally and strictly adhere to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act. Draft agendas are posted online by noon of the Friday before our meetings, and all executive sessions, as permitted by statute, are conducted after public sessions out of the respect for the public, with full public disclosure of the agendas. We committed ourselves to treat residents and village employees with respect and dignity, and to solicit, encourage, and accept public input. We accomplished this across more than 120 public board meetings and budget workshops. We also held open, informal town hall meetings to solicit community feedback on any matter of interest or concern to the public. And we routinely accepted and responded to public input at meetings through advisory committees and boards by email, phone, regular mail, and in person. We committed ourselves to provide timely, easy access to accurate information about the village and its operations, and routine updates are provided monthly regarding key village initiatives. We committed ourselves to hold village government and employees accountable to the public. Your board responds to all inquiries and complaints from the public, and all departments heads have been tasked to perform professionally and promptly with accountability when serving the public. We committed ourselves to implement stringent anti-pay-to-play restrictions for all village contractors, and we adopted among the strictest anti-pay-to-play ordinances in New Jersey to limit political influence. We committed ourselves to conduct performance reviews and set terms for all South Orange appointees. We implemented periodic requests for proposals for appointments, including village attorneys and consultants, such as a planner, risk manager, and auditor. We committed ourselves to implement timely periodic performance reviews for village employees, and we established an annual performance review process for all department heads. We committed ourselves to improve the village's dialogue with Maplewood, other neighboring towns, and Essex County. We reestablished our Shared Services Committee with Maplewood. We opened routine dialogue between governing body members, especially on joint matters regarding education, youth services, sharing services, and environmental sustainability. And we established an open dialogue with other neighboring towns and the county's leadership about matters of joint interest, including shared services, public safety, transportation, energy savings, recycling, and information technology. With respect to fiscal management and property taxes, we committed ourselves to establish a zero-based budgeting process. We successfully established an in-depth, detailed budget process encompassing all departments and monthly public budget workshops leading up to adopting our budget every year during the period we work on the budget. We settled all 5 open union contracts with outcomes that reflect today's financial realities for South Orange and its taxpayers, a big win for village taxpayers. We committed ourselves to evaluate alternatives for delivering municipal services, including shared services and outsourcing. In addition to our Shared Services Committee, we created a citizen-driven Shared Municipal Services Advisory Committee with Maplewood. We established shared electronics recycling with Maplewood. We outsourced village finance staffing. We outsourced vehicle maintenance to Maplewood. We implemented a joint municipal court and violations bureau in Maplewood's new energy-efficient facility, freeing 2,000 square feet of needed village space in our police headquarters and saving money along the way. We implemented coordinated hours with Maplewood for our animal control officers to expand service and reduce overtime expenses. We joined with Maplewood and the school district to outsource lawn cutting, generating significant savings for all parties. We've engaged SOPAC to manage the village's cultural affairs musical performances, starting shortly. This evening, the board will consider a resolution to implement an interlocal shared service agreement with Maplewood for property maintenance code enforcement, which will generate substantial savings. And we're in the process of developing a proposal to deliver integrated recreation services to Maplewood under an interlocal shared service agreement. We committed ourselves to develop a 5-year plan and capital budget based on assessed lifespan and condition of major capital assets, infrastructure, and prioritize those based on anticipated needs. We completed the plan and now set priorities based on condition of those assets and available budget capital. We completed the historic firehouse expansion and renovation, enabling staff to finally return to their vastly improved facility, I might add, with considerable pain to get there. We rebuilt the Public Works salt shed and its garage roof with the ability to add solar panels to reduce energy costs in the future. We rebuilt and refinished large and small roadways, parking lots, sidewalks, and curbing across the village. We undertook architectural and engineering studies as precursors to renovating Village Hall and the Baird entryway in the future. We've completed the first phase of the River Greenway project, returning the northern span of our wonderful river to pedestrians, cyclists, and indigenous species of plants and animals. And we're in the midst of replacing the outdated bridge at the municipal pool complex. We committed ourselves to manage the village's debt burden to minimize bond transaction and funding costs. We continually review and refinance outstanding debt to reduce funding costs, and today are paying under the 1% in financing costs for bond anticipation notes, which is a form of short-term financing. We committed ourselves to improve efficiency and effectiveness of government through expanded planning and use of information technology. We implemented new emergency alert and public notification system to leverage email, text messaging, and phone. We expanded the use of online video access of important village meetings. We established an online police blotter to ensure accurate, timely communication to our public. We now post online pending and new ordinances and resolutions. We've expanded the use of technology for policing, including equipping all police cars with mobile data terminals and video cameras, and are adding video cameras to strategic locations in the village. We've added online payments for property taxes and sewer fees. Our library is on the vanguard of delivering online resources and e-books to residents. And all board members and department heads are accessible today by email to everyone. We committed ourselves to aggressively identify and manage grants. We applied for and received unprecedented levels of extraordinary aid from the state, totaling $1.85 million during 2007, 8, and 9, versus only $400,000 for the preceding 3 years. And we've raised millions of dollars in grants for planning, historic preservation, road and infrastructure improvements, transportation, cultural arts, improving our river greenway, policing, fire safety, and the environment. With respect to supporting public safety, we committed ourselves to establish a downtown policing strategy responsive to increasing evening pedestrian activity. And we did that long before the first occurrence of large groups of students and kids coming to town just because of the activity at SOPAC. We worked with our police to establish downtown evening foot patrols with increased emphasis on after-school and weekend coverage. And we created a zero-tolerance environment for quality-of-life violations. We committed ourselves to address neighborhood-specific concerns and implement changes to meet neighborhoods' needs. We established an open-door policy at public safety committee meetings of the board where residents from neighborhoods have come forth to share specific concerns. We established and expanded neighborhood watch programs to meet specific neighborhood concerns. We launched the Citizens Public Safety Committee to engage volunteers interested in facilitating public safety. And we implemented an innovative rental registration and licensing ordinance to hold landlords accountable for their tenants' actions when it comes to quality of life issues.